Welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. In this video, I'm recapping episode 6 of Bigger on BET. We finally got an origin story. I typically kind of feel frustrated with flashback episodes, but as time has progressed, they've actually gotten better from when I was growing up. So I was really excited to see how our group came to be friends at the AUC, the HBCU Center in Atlanta, my hometown. Shouts out. So let's jump right in. Tracy is from Humble Beginnings. Every episode, I don't know why I'm so stunned by how beautiful Tracy is. It's like by now I should be used to it, yet I'm not. She's from Humble Beginnings. She is, at school. Everybody is broke at school, but, she doesn't come from, money, so she's broker. And her and Lane, who is on a very different end of the Black spectrum, the Black experience, or the Black expression spectrum than Tracy. Tracy is, hood, around the way girl. Lane is a little bit more whitewashed. And so, it gives some insight into why Tracy doesn't really want to be on TV fighting, or didn't want to be on the reality show fighting, even though she ended up fighting at the reunion show, because maybe that's a part of her that she was trying to disengage from, since that's kind of how she grew up. And we see that in, her younger self character. So Lane really wants to be a fashion designer, and her mom won't let her major in fashion. So she's majoring in business, and Tracy is majoring in media, but her mom wants her to major in something a little bit more secure. And that is a huge part of I think a lot of different cultures have this experience, but Black people, I know for sure, because I am Black, I think I'm really fortunate in that I come from a family that was like, whatever you want to do, we support you. Even though my family is not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination, I never really had this a whole lot of pressure to do or to be or to pursue a certain kind of career. But I know a lot of people who that's the expectation, and people don't really look at creative careers as being very lucrative. They want you to do something with more job security, or at least that sounds better. People want you to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, an engineer, and that's just not what everyone wants to do. And I think clues about what our passion and the ways that we can actually make money and enjoy it are always present, because we can see, I'm really seeing that Tracy should be a food blogger. Like, we see how she was able to whip up the potato salad using the cauliflower at the terrible engagement party in the last episode. And then she's, doing a really good job of like making college struggle meals actually really good, even though these girls are like clowning her for being, hood or not having as much money as them. They tell her she should start charging for plates. And why not? I definitely know this really made me nostalgic for college a little bit, because I remember a business fraternity that I was a part of. We definitely like sold spaghetti plates as a fundraiser, and I feel like we probably spent more money buying the food than we did selling the plates. Anyway, so yeah, why doesn't Tracy just like start, like present day, a food blog, or like something in the culinary arts? Those clues keep being presented there. Lane keeps using all of her money to buy fabric because she wants to present in the Lambda fashion show. The Lambdas are the big, maybe only, I didn't see any other fraternities, but they are the big, major fraternity on the campus, and they're hosting this big fashion show, and she really wants to present and be a part of it, but she doesn't really know anyone. And so, like many college students, or, young people, period, you are broke trying to pursue your dream. So this also gives a little bit of insight of like why maybe Lane didn't tell her mom about the engagement. Maybe they don't have that kind of relationship, because her mom was pretty insistent that, I'm looking at your debit card account, and called her and was just like, oh, so you spent your money on Joann's Fabrics, and, maybe if that's what you want to do. It kind of sounds like, there's some manipulation there. Like, if I'm not going to, pay for you to be at school doing that. And that could really be an indicator of why her mom wasn't really a part of the engagement situation, because since Lane did go on to open a fashion business, I don't know, was that good enough for her mom? Was that the compromise? I guess we'll find out later in the season. Veronica is the stereotypical kind of fat friend. Like, she's not fat, she's just bigger than the other girls. So, like, you know, guys on campus are making fun of her, including the Lambdas, including the, you know, big man on campus Lambda, who she is having a secret relationship with because he's actually ashamed of her because she's not a certain size, and, you know, tells her that he's gonna let her walk in the fashion show. And we find out that's not true later on in the episode. Meanwhile, Dion, a young, fresh Dion, is pledging. And this was hilarious for a number of reasons. He's also really into Lane. So part of his pledge process is that he has to, like, run around with this watermelon and babysit it and not get it taken. So he runs into the girls' dorm room, and Lane lets him hide in her room. And Lane is a nerd. Lane has no concept of, like, how to relate to a guy or be with a guy or anything like that. So it's low-key kind of like she kidnapped him and was, like, you know, luring him there with food. So, you know, Veronica's a dick. Veronica's not nice to Tracy and Lane, who are roommates, and, you know, she's like their neighbor. And we get some insight into why Veronica is the way that she is, because obviously she wasn't treated very well by guys, but we'll get to that part. So, you know, Lane lures him to stay in her room with food, and they have this really good conversation. And like I said, there is something between Dion and Lane, obviously. So Lane shows up to, you know, fashion show rehearsal. She's trying to, you know, get the guys to take her seriously, to let her, you know, dress the models. He's being a complete asshole, which, child memories, ew. And this is when Veronica discovers that she's not going to be modeling in the show and confronts him about it. And he's an asshole about it, of course. So she's crying in the car. The girls go comfort her, and they come up with this ruse. So Vince, who just be sitting in on classes for the free ski-wee-ski, but also DJing parties and making a little coin here or there, he's DJing the fashion show. So the girls come up with this ruse. Now, this was cute, but they dead wrong for putting my homegirl in them kitten heels. Be it flat or be it heel. No. And this whole, you know, Superwoman set, and then, you know, the 1 Minute Man thing. I'm happy that the audience in the show received it well, but this was not good. This was not good. But it works out well for them. So at the after party, everybody's having a good time. Vince is dancing with the girls, foreshadowing how him and Veronica end up having a sexual relationship. And Dion and Lane go back to Lane's room together, but they end up not doing anything because they're both drunk, and then he's also sore from having, you know, been hazed to become a Lambda. And their probate was also hilarious. Like, I know somebody on the staff has to have actually been a part of a Greek organization. They can't come up with anything a little bit better. It was cute, though. They tried. So, you know, he's made it. He's a Lambda, but he has, you know, the scars to prove it. So they end up not actually doing anything. Lane does not lose her virginity. And he leaves the next morning because he saw something on her board, something about, like, romance on, like, her mood board. And I'm wondering, why did that signal to him that he should, like, you know, get the hell on? So when she tries to speak to him on campus the next day, he kind of hits her with the sis and just kind of, like, friend zones her. And I'm excited to see the next episode because I too want to know what happened there. But this is the origin story of how the friends became friends. I thought it was very cute. It made me quite nostalgic for college. And also, look, child, I went in college in 2003. I was still in high school, but it did make me nostalgic for college nonetheless. And again, this show always makes me a little bit homesick for Atlanta. So If y'all picked up on what the hell it was that made Dion leave her room and decide to friend zone her, let me know. It's entirely possible that I missed it. So I will be back to recap the next episode. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to share, comment, like, subscribe, and become a patron on my Patreon if you would like to help me to continue creating free content. Bye!